Hello, my name is Fatima. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for joining me today.
Thank you, nice meeting you.
How was the drive-in this morning?
It was alright.
Good. Was it kind of hectic and stuff like that?
A little bit of traffic here and there, but the usual.
Okay, all right. So foremost, I want to thank you for coming in and being a part of the Dream Organization at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about my role here at Dream Organization. I am a social worker, and I'm going to be assigned to your case. And so we're going to be working together to achieve the ultimate goal.
Okay.
In your time here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to disclose. The first thing is confidentiality, so there's nothing for you to worry about here. So everything that you do say to me is between you and me, unless it's something where it has to do where you're harming yourself, someone's being harmed, or you may harm someone else, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I do want to get this started here. So
Okay.
can you tell me, how was your day today?
It was alright, a little hectic, traffic to begin with in the morning, going on my way to work, but, the usual.
Okay. Yeah, it does get kind of hectic out there, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it kind of like do a little bit of stress with you a little bit with all that traffic there?
No, because I do tend to leave my house either like an hour earlier or at least like 30 minutes into it is traffic, and depending the time that I go in, it determines like what time I leave, and I usually always leave space so then I can take my time to get to work, and I won't necessarily worry like, oh, I'm running late or anything like that.
Oh, that sounds really good. So it does seem like you do a little bit of time management there.
Well, you have to, especially in Phoenix, a lot of traffic, especially with the highway being constructed.
Oh, okay. Do you mind me asking where you work at?
I work at Tutor Time.
Oh, awesome. Okay. What do you do there? What's your role there?
I'm a lead teacher.
Oh, okay. So do you usually teach children?
Yes, I teach the ages from 2 to 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm usually usually my role there is preparing like the material for the kids to learn that specific week, depending on like what the set course assignment is for them to learn. And I usually prepare with my assistant co-lead teacher on like who's going to be doing what with the kids throughout the entire week, and making sure that parents are updated on what they're learning, what their child is learning, and taking pictures and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds actually really cool. Is it something that you've always liked doing?
Partially. I've always kind of found myself in certain positions where I'm helping someone, either if it's like children or an adult or just like peers that are around me. But I mean, ultimately what I want to do is work within the political field, since my degree is in international affairs.
Oh, okay. Your degree is in international affairs then?
Yes.
Awesome. When did you complete that degree?
About almost a year. It's going to be in May.
Oh, how awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Was it something that you always were looking forward to?
Yeah, as I was growing up, I have an older brother that he was like the first one to officially go to a university. I have another brother that's much older than him that went to a college, but it was more of a local college.
Okay.
For just like computer system, and I've always kind of followed my brother's path along with my sister's path to do necessarily more schooling, and also like my parents, and ultimately just for me to see what's out there, like where I can either land in the field of the work environment more so, and find my true passion of what I like to do and what I want to do until retirement.
So it sounds like you're passionate about learning and being a part of society in the working concept.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the workforce. You meet a lot of different people, you see how each person interacts, you see the different environments depending on like the job that you're in. It's very interesting.
Good, okay. Is it something that you've come to be more comfortable with, or is it something that's challenging for you?
It's a little challenging because you have to kind of like, depending on the work that you're in, you have to adapt quickly. If you don't know and you don't have the experience that they're looking for, it's more of, say, like, you have to adapt very quickly in order for you to stand out versus like people that already have the experience or are learning as well as you at the same time. So it's kind of like, because it's very competitive. No matter what field that you're in, the workforce will always be competitive. So you have to stand out. You have to make sure that you necessarily do what you can to adapt quickly.
Yeah, that definitely does sound like something that you're a little bit of passion. You're not just a little bit, but you're passionate about. And have you always been a part of like fighting in a way, like fighting, for example, like fighting to, between the students when you were at the university level and then now being at the career force?
Yeah, I've always kind of fought my way through school and through the workforce. It took me a while to get my first job, and I didn't get paid very much. The same thing with school. I had teachers, counselors tell me that, my best route would be community college, and I didn't want that route. I wanted the university route in a way. So I always pushed forward. I got denied to even a community college program while I was still in high school, but yet that just the getting denied and getting that letter pushed me forward and more to get to that point where I am at the university. And not only that, but I graduated within the 4 years with my bachelor's degree.
Wow, that's very motivating and courageous. And not only that, but it's more like you always were inspired by something else, and you kept on pushing and you kept on going. So that's something that is really cool that you did. Was it something that came easy to you when you were fighting for it, or was it more like, let me explain that a little bit differently. Was it something that you always wanted?
What do you mean? Was wanted?
So, for example, did you always want to go to college or the university?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I did want to, because I always thought that was kind of like the route. Like I said previously, my 2 older brothers went, and my sister as well. She took her time, but I've always kind of seen myself doing the same thing as my other siblings. Going off to school, getting like to a point where I don't have to live by paycheck to paycheck, but more so just live in a way. And I've always wanted that, and I always seen my parents work hard to give me and my siblings everything that we needed to succeed in life. But see, at the same time, I didn't want to, because I didn't quite know what I wanted to study. So just not me knowing exactly where I wanted my path to kind of grow is what made me stop and think like, is this right for me? Is this for me? But ultimately, I just said to myself, I need to get there, and once I get there, I will explore everything and all the options that will be provided for me. I need to meet people. I need to go explore, and that would be the great place to do it, because I'm not only getting an education, but I'm also building contacts. I'm building connections with people within my degree and with other degrees, seeing if if a certain other degree that is the way I want to go is more interesting than the one that I chose, etc. And just exploring ultimately is what I wanted to get to in order for me to find out.
Okay, so it sounds like you were kind of battling it out within yourself as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
But overall, it did give you the motivation that you, in a way, needed. Is that correct?
Yes, because I believe that in order for someone to be motivated, they have to motivate themselves. No matter what it is, let's say if you get denied something you got denied. No one else got denied. You got denied. So you either take that denial, either accept it and move forward and keep pushing, or you stop there. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You stop there and you don't continue. So that's it. That denial determined everything for you. And I'm one of those people that the denial does not determine that state at that moment that it's over for me. I keep pushing forward. That I take that denial and I make it grow into an acceptance.
Oh, okay. So the denial made you in a way. Did it? Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm sorry about that. The denial, was it something that brought you down a little bit? Even though like you did proceed to the next step, was it something that in a way brought you to maybe have other feelings towards that path?
I mean, yeah, I think a little bit. Any denial that anyone gets feels that way. I mean, especially for me getting denied for a program in the community college while still being in high school, you know, that's harsh because like it makes you think like, okay, am I even gonna get accepted to a university? I couldn't even get accepted to a community college. Not that I'm saying that they're different, it's just that it is a different level of, in the sense that community college you can take your time, while at the university it's like more of a requirement, but ultimately they both get you to a certain place and a certain goal in your education and in life. And me just not even getting accepted into that it's harsh, you know. Or even me taking the longest time to get my first job is harsh because of all those denials, just because I wasn't qualified or I didn't seem to fit the position. You know, any person that gets denied anything that's either little or big, it's harsh for someone, and it makes them think, well, can I do it or can I not do it? Should I continue or should I not? You know?
Right. So in a way, you questioned every time that it was a denial towards your or denied towards you. It was kind of, it put you in a state of questioning. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, I would say so.
Questioning your own abilities and putting you in a vulnerable state.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you felt like?
Yeah, partially, you know, but too, I was also in that, I've always been a person that's kind of like, okay, you denied me, I'm still going to continue, I'm still going to apply, you know. It's not going to define who I am and what I'm going to do in the future. It's not going to stop me from anything. So.
That's excellent. That's something that it's hard to get a hold of, and when you do get a hold of it, in a way it kind of is hard as well to bring that person down because of all those kind of push downs and like push asides. In a way, it kind of makes you in a way feel a little bit tough. Would you think that would be the word for it?
Yeah, I think anything makes anyone tough, depending on what they're going through, either if it's something bad or something good. Even it can either, in a sense, make or break someone, but ultimately it depends on how they come out from it on the other end is what defines necessarily the action that they're going to take. Like I said before, if that one particular answer or statement is either going to be determined their future, or if the person themselves are going to determine their future.
Right. So overall, the push downs and like you can not only being let down by the programs that you were reaching out to, and like, you know, the denials of every other thing that you were also applying with, it made you strong, and it made you in a way look at everything differently and look at everything in a different stance, and acknowledging how far you've gone from being denied into you being at the position that you are, which is in having your bachelor's degree in international relations and international affairs, and being a part of a society that is, you know, more than just that high school or that denial programs. It got you to a position where you're a little bit more like, in a way, I feel that you're more like I'm okay with things, but because of my strive, I got to where I got to. It's very awesome. With that being said, Mr. Johnson, did you have, by any chance, family in the situation, or friends or others that helped you along the way?
Yeah, I did. I had my family. I have 3 older siblings, the fourth and the youngest. So you can see that there was a little bit of pressure, but you know, ultimately I am me and my siblings are they. So, you know, my family supported me a lot throughout the 4 years that I was there. I made a lot of connections. I made really close friends that also were either in the same field as me or were going through the same things I was going through while still in school. We were really close. We became really close, and we supported each other throughout the whole semesters, the 4 years, you know, hard times, stuff like that, and just ultimately being humble and making sure that I do what I do to succeed, and is what got me through the 4 years that I was there.
Sounds like you did have a family that was always behind you, and the dynamic that you took from it was a positive one. Is that correct?
Yeah, because ultimately, you know, the negative parts that I went through doesn't matter to me, because it made me come out better. It made me be a better person, a better student, a better sister, a better everything. I feel like, because I saw different types of myself in the university throughout the 4 years I was there, and I've always told myself that the degree is mine. No, the degree is my family's, but the education is mine. No one can ever take that away from me. So, I mean, the positive overshadows the negative.
I like the way that you see it, everything as a positive way, and a learning stuff every time you do take one.
Yeah.
With that being said, Miss Johnson, was there a time in your life where you found yourself in a big transition?
Yeah, it was. A lot of people may think that it's the time after you graduate, but it's really the time when you go into the university. So it was the transition from high school to the university. I know a lot of people also say that too, but it is a major thing, especially when you're graduating at the age of 17, 18, sometimes 19, depending on, you know, how old the person is. But that period was very harsh for me. It was very hard. I didn't know exactly what to do or how to think or how to go about to different with different things, with different situations. I didn't exactly know. I had, like I stated before, I had an older sibling that that went to the university, but he, like I said, he had a different experience than I did going in. So he got into his university really late, so he didn't necessarily live on campus, but he lived near campus. And unlike myself, I lived on campus, and I lived with 2 other people in a small room that's almost like a jail cell, to say, so to speak, to kind of get a brief picture of it. And it was very hard because you're living with 2 other people that have 2 different mindsets, that have 2 different emotions, and that have 2 different complete lifestyles versus just you know,
Right.
and the way that you think, and etc. And that itself is very hard, because you kind of feed off of what they're doing, just because you don't know exactly how to comprehend or not understand, but more so adapt to the environment so quickly and find a certain system that works for you, because you, like I said, you have 2 other